Evening, folks. Ray Barton, Ray the Real Estate Guy. I'm right here at Coldwell Banker Flanagan Realty in Manchester, New Jersey. We have offices, by the way, in Manchester, Toms River, and Bayville. We're all here to serve you. Feel free to give me a call at 908-309-2222 or check out my website at raytherealestateguy.com. Today I'd like to talk to you about some terms that we continually use in the real estate transactions, and sometimes they get a little bit confusing. One of the first terms that you'll hear is something called a CMA, or comparative market analysis, and that's just what it is. It kind of compares your property to properties in the surrounding area that were sold in the last 6 months, and we come up with a starting price to recommend so that you might sell at a reasonable price to the market. Now that's a little bit different from the next term, which is called an appraisal. An appraisal is a professional analysis used to estimate the value of your home. Most times lenders will send out appraisers, and they'll do an appraisal to help get them the value and worth of that home to you and your lender as you're trying to secure financing. They want to make sure that it's a valid dollar amount so that they're not overlending and you're not overbuying. Now, closing costs, that can get a little bit confusing as well. When we talk about closing costs, these are the fees required to complete a real estate transaction. They're paid at closing. They include things like points and taxes and title insurance, financing costs, obviously the real estate commissions, and items that must be prepaid or escrowed. One of the things you should do is ask your lender for a complete list of all closing cost items so that you have a good idea what the transaction will cost, because it's not only the amount that you put down to buy the house, but you're going to have those closing costs in order to get the house in your name. Now, credit scores, we all hear about credit scores, they're all over the TV. Now, the number typically ranges between a 300 and an 850, and that's based on an analysis of your credit history. And just little things can change that, okay? They help the lender determine the likelihood that you'll repay a future debt. But, it's kind of interesting. When you're going through the process of securing a loan, make sure you don't do anything that will affect your credit. You don't want to go open up a new credit card. You don't want to go do anything without first talking to the lender before you affect your credit. Very, very important. And, oh, by the way, if your credit is marginal, 300 to 500, you may want to start working on it now, because the higher you can get your credit score, the more favorable you'll find the rates and the terms that the mortgage companies will give you. A down payment. Down payments, we always tell a person you got to have 20%. Well, that's not necessarily true. Down payments are typically 3% to 20% of the purchase price of the home. And there's even some 0% down programs that are available. You can ask your lender about that for more information. But remember, it's not only the money that you put down to secure the house and buy the house, you're still going to need closing costs above and beyond that. So the lender can give you a complete statement of what you'll need in order to buy a house, and it's a good idea to find that out, as well as it is to find out what the current mortgage rates are. The term mortgage rate is a little bit interesting because they change all the time. It's the interest rate that you'll pay to borrow money when buying a home. And of course, obviously, the lower the rate, the better, right? But you want to know what that is. So one of the things that we always recommend is to work with your lender and get what they call a pre-approval letter. A pre-approval letter. Now, this is a lender letter, or a letter from the lender, which indicates that you qualify for a mortgage at a very specific amount. It's a pretty much of a guideline. They'll say, based on your income, your credit score, and everything about you, we can give you X dollars. And, this is a really critical step in today's competitive market. It's good to know what you can go buy before you go look. And then knowing that, and you're armed with that information, you know what amount the lender will give you. You have a good idea what you have for a down payment, and then you know what your closing costs are. You can get into a home and know that you're not going to get overly invested or over your head all that quickly, and you certainly don't want to do that. And who can help you with that? Someone like myself. I'm a real estate professional, an individual who provides services in both buying and selling of homes. Now, real estate professionals are there to help you through the whole transaction because the paperwork can get confusing. You find your dream home, you need to negotiate. There may be some timelines that come up. There may be other things in the transaction that you need to do, like home inspections and working with attorneys and securing letters of credit or whatever else. We can help guide you through that, and hopefully you're working with someone who knows the market. Now, I happen to know the market. I've been in this area for ever, and I certainly know Ocean County and Southern Monmouth County real well, and I'm more than glad to work with you. Don't wait a week before you want to buy a house. Come to me early. Let's make sure that you get prepared. Let me help you get that pre-approval letter. Let me get you to mortgage companies and get you lined up with all the professionals you're going to need in order to make a good, clean transaction. Very important for you, very important for your future, very important to make sure that your transaction in buying your next dream home is exactly what you want at the price you want to pay, and that you and I can be friends for a long time. All my customers always say, I went for a real estate guy, but I found a friend. And boy, that's nothing more complimenting than that. I like to work with my people as if we were long-term friends. I'll guide you, I'll help you, I'll do whatever I can do. I'll make sure that things are transparent and that you know what you're doing as you go along. And I'll work every step of the way. I'll be there with you. It's not an easy transaction, but you need someone who's professional, someone who's trained. Now, my name is Ray Barton. You can always get me at 908-309-2222. I'm known as Ray the Real Estate Guy. I have my own website, raytherealestateguy.com. Please reach out to me. I'm a realtor associate, a Coldwell Banker, Flanagan Realty, right here in Manchester, New Jersey, with offices in Toms River and Bayville. If you like what I'm talking about, hit the like button below, please. Leave me a comment. Give me some idea what kind of content you want. I'm here every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. So be healthy, be safe, and give me a call. I'm here to help.